coalition, and Jerry is apparently the reigning expert on how PELT payments are calculated. And even he wasn't familiar with this grant program, but he did say that there is not, he was aware of no provision that would allow any grant monies generated, especially to a third party, to be used in calculating or reducing the PELT payment that the county does receive, unlike direct geothermal royalty payments that we do receive. So in any case, Mr. Schreiner, after assuring me yesterday there was no way that he could be here today, found time to come down. And so if you have any questions about the application, this is for a survey, as I said, of the geothermal resource out in that area, which they hope, along with a number of other companies, to develop. Located in Imperial County, and of course we provide some additional geothermal activity and tax dollars to the county. So Alex Schreiner is here.
Yeah, my name is Alex Schreiner. I work with Earth System Southwest. My history in Imperial County is fairly long. I started down here with Unical when they started building Unit 3 at the Salton Sea. I was transferred down here as their district development geologist, and so I've been associated with Imperial County from roughly about 1987 on, so fairly familiar with the area and the Truck Haven area in particular. What we're doing with the Truck Haven area, as you may be aware, is that the Bureau of Land Management has a environmental impact statement out right now, a final one, and a proposed leasing plan. We have approximately about 50 square miles of land, not all of which is going to be open to competitive and non-competitive leasing, but a portion of it is going to be to competitive and non-competitive leasing of geothermal rights. Part of this is on top or overlays with the surface rights of the Ocotillo Wells off-road vehicle park as well. In this particular area, there are 3 power purchase agreements that already exist, 2 for Esmeralda Energy from San Diego Gas and Electric, and 1 for Iceland America for 50 megawatts from Pacific Gas and Electric.
Alex, is that the total megawatts that the 3 plants?
Correct. The three together are approximately 125 megawatts.
Thank you.
Between the 3 of them.
Sure.
And what we're proposing to do here is basically dovetail on a survey that was already completed, similar techniques, in 2003 by Lehman and Associates using a federal Department of Energy grant. If you look at figure 1 in this handout, and what I've given you is just a synopsis of the entire application, so it's not the entire application. You'll see figure 1 shows a dashed box, which is the area that Lehman examined. The solid box is the area which our proposal is going to examine. And basically, if you look at figure 2 in that, which shows the entire area which the Bureau of Land Management has offered for leasing. What we're proposing to do is use the 2, using similar techniques that the Lehman and Associates used, merge these 2 gravity, or these 2 geophysical and geological techniques together to make a comprehensive geologic exploration model for the entire area. And then all of the information will be in the public domain. That way, regulators, interested stakeholders, U.S. Geological Survey, Department of Energy, Division of Oil and Gas, whoever will have all the same data in order to make interpretation as to where the potential resource areas are at.
Can I interject? I have a question before you go any further, and that was something that concerned me. In reference to the area itself, San Felipe and the Truck Haven geothermal area, and you're talking about you being exploratory, and there's an issue on proprietary that comes up. Are you the only one that will do this exploration and that will feed information to the other stakeholders, or will we have other companies that are also competing, because you talk about also competitive and non-competitive, that will come back and seeking the same support from us that you're seeking from us?
Right. Well, I think by competitive and non-competitive is that the leasing of federal land in that area has been broken into two criteria because they changed the regulations. Any leases that were made prior to 2002, I believe it was, are now listed as non-competitive leasing. That is, if you filed on the land and if it wasn't issued, then they have to issue it to you in a non-competitive status because you were first in the queue. Other lands that were unleased are going into an auction. And so most of the land down there is in a competitive auction. That's what I meant by competitive and non-competitive. There are other interests down there. And I think what has happened in this particular area, and is true for most geothermal areas around the West, is that the exploration was done by private entities. And so they spent their own dollars doing this. And so the information that was gathered in this area has been largely confidential. What we're proposing to do is to collect new data, dovetailing it with the previous data. We've gone back through Freedom of Information and got the raw data from the layman survey. That will be made available as well. And basically make a model and then present that model to whoever wants to have it. It will be
this will be like a public-private partnership.
Absolutely, and that's how the department. That's how the California Energy Commission, and the Department of Energy works. Is that you pay in roughly over 50%, they pay in slightly under 50% for the funds to do the project. It's budgeted, and then the documents are public domain at the end of the day.
Okay, thank you very much for a very good response.
All right, boards. This is just a letter to. They've already been recommended for funding.
Move to approve.
Is to support that recommendation.
I would second that.
All right, please vote. And that passes 4-0 with one Mr. Grogan who abstained.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming down, Alex, and good to see you again.
Just a question, Alex. Do you have this in a PDF format?
Absolutely. I can give you the entire document as a PDF format.
Okay, if you could just send it to our clerk of the board, and then she can hand it out upon a board member's request or the county staff.
No problem. Happy to do it.
Thank you. Thank you.
And Alex was a very big part of a meeting we had with the off-road community in our efforts to work together to so that we will be able to have continued off-road activity while the exploration and the production hopefully goes on. Thank you. All right, there were no emergency items. That means we will move down to item 16. We have to, what we need to do is we need to get the rest of our members back in here. Mr. Horn, could you go in search of Mr. Grogan and indicate to him that his break is over?
I can see the illumination off the top of his head from here.
All right. Could you tell him to step back in? Your excommunication is ended. And this time we will adjourn as the Board of Supervisors and convene as the Board of Equalization to consider item number 16, approve withdrawal of application for changed assessment APN 800-100-250, Sears and Roebuck and Company. Morning, Roy.
Good morning.
This is a withdrawal of the application for change assessment. All right, do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? None. And please vote, and the vote is 5-0. Thank you, Roy.
Thank you.
We will now adjourn as the Board of Equalization, reconvene as the Board of Supervisors, and move to the discussion calendar for reports, correspondence, and announcements. We start with Mr. Ham from legislation.
Morning, Mr. Chairman, members, Bob Ham, Intergovernmental Relations. I'll start by mentioning Chairman Wyatt discussed the meeting we had with the OHB folks on renewable energy projects and how to see if we can balance them. Friday I received a message from Senator Feinstein's office that they're wanting to do something with the BLM along these lines with a number of other stakeholders, and apparently following along the lines of something